What's up, guys? Welcome to the road trip video log, aka podcast, whatever you want to call it. My name's Enigma9011, aka Brett. Doing this on our way to Kinda Funny Live 2 up in San Francisco. We are driving from Anaheim area, SoCal, all the way up there. Currently we're about halfway, so figured I'd do this just to kind of break up the trip a little bit, have some fun with it, and yeah. So I asked you guys on the various social medias for some questions and topics and things to talk about. So those of you who submitted stuff, much appreciated. This will make it a lot easier. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, first question is, let's see, the most parental question. Get it out of the way. From Mom. Wonder who that is. Talk about how to drive safe on a long trip. Alright, solid question. Now this one required a lot of thought and prep because obviously it's a long road trip. 6+ hours driving from SoCal to NorCal. So yeah, I'm going to turn it over to Brett. He'll explain what to do.
5 easy tips for traveling safely. Check your car's oil, tires, fluids, gas, and etc. before departing.
Yeah. It's a car.
Bring plenty of snacks. Plan bathroom breaks accordingly to avoid stressful situations. Pick good music or entertainment. Get plenty of rest.
Let's do this. Very good advice. Very good advice. Solid advice right there. Glad I followed it. Alright, second question comes from Twitter. Macario Beatbox, one of our mods over on the Twitch channel. Awesome dude. Oh, interesting question. What is your inspiration? Example, family and fame. So, like I mentioned before, I do the Twitch streaming and I do some YouTube stuff. So I'm assuming this question is more aimed towards why do I stream, why do I make YouTube content? It's a great question. Honestly, the streaming, live streaming, like playing games, chat with people like that, it's just something fun to do. You know, it's scheduled time, I guess you could say, to play some games and kind of relax and take a load off if the day was hectic or whatever it may be. And then the YouTube content just kind of is advertisement for the Twitch stream itself. And it's just a lot of fun editing videos. I've learned more about it over the year, kind of self-taught and stuff like that. So that's fun. So inspirations on why I do things like that and just life in general. Well, obviously number one is the parents, mom and dad. They're you know, very supportive and always encourage me to do what I wanted to do and don't feel rushed to make decisions. Take your time, think everything through. Excuse me, think everything through. And so yeah, they're a big inspiration for everything they do. I can't thank them enough for what they've done, you know, throughout my lifetime and all those things. So definitely them. Inspirations on making content. Some big YouTubers I like, or YouTubers and streamers. I'm a big fan of Maximilian Dood and all of his content for the fighting game community that he makes. The first live streamer I ever watched, Mssnowhite. She's really cool, down to earth. I just like her friendly vibe and you know how friendly her community is. And then obviously the Kinda Funny guys who are heading up to see right now. You know, they had their jobs at IGN. They were doing their own thing on YouTube for fun, and they're like, hey, you know, this can turn into something. This is fun, and they took that chance, and it seems like it's working out for them 2 years later. So yeah, those are my big inspirations, I would say. Parents for sure, and then content-wise, those three guys, Max, Snow, and the Kind of Funny guys. So yeah. Alright, third question. Third question also comes from Twitter from another one of our Twitch mods, Marshall, KC Fire. What do I plan for the future of your streaming career? Ooh, okay. Like I said earlier, the Twitch stream, it's kind of... The way I got into it, a buddy of mine suggested it, John back home. We were initially doing a YouTube channel together. He wanted to make some content, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to help out. And then he was like, yo, we should also try Twitch, try some live streaming. So I never heard of it before. So he showed me it, and I watched a couple of channels and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool medium. So we tried it, we started it, and yeah, I really found that I enjoyed it, and like talking with you guys, the viewers, and just chatting about games, chatting about movies, chatting about, you know, whatever it may be, and just that idea of, I guess you could say, entertainment, just trying to turn someone's day around. Like, oh, maybe they're not having the best day, you know, turn it around, or if they're having a great day, just make it better, and enjoy some laughs and share them with each other. So, future-wise for streaming, as I crack and voice, I don't know, these last couple of months we've gained a lot more, not a lot of traction, but it's getting better. We're getting some more viewership, which is cool. Getting some more regulars and stuff like that. It's nice seeing the same, you know, usernames and people constantly coming back, because that's feedback for me. It's like, oh, I'm doing something right. At least I hope so. So my goal is to keep streaming, no matter what the job may be, whether I'm, you know, have something during the day, working at night, whatever it may be. I still want to stream. If it's as much as I am right now, or if it's less, you know, it's fine. Like I said previously, it's that scheduled time for myself, like, hey, this is your time to play games and whatever, and kind of like hang out with your friends and stuff like that. And I feel that's important with anything, any lifestyle, is balance. Is, you know, you have that work time, you have that play time, that time to relax and recoup. If you're just constantly working, you're gonna burn out quick, and stress and all that fun stuff. So even though down the road it'd be really cool to get a partnership and make this a full-time career, doing it right now, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like a privilege, something I get to do. And for all the people that do watch and follow and, you know, chat and do all those things, I can't thank them enough, because there's enough there is plenty of channels that you could go and check out other than mine. And yeah, so right now we're a small channel, but that's fine. I like that. I like the connectivity I have with the viewers. You know, I'm able to chat with everyone, read all the comments, respond, and stuff like that. Like I said, bigger numbers would be great, because it can only be better. More conversation going on, dead spots, whatever it may be. But if it turns into a partnership, awesome. That's a cool goal to have. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not gonna, you know, break my heart and crush me. I'm just gonna still do it, just to have fun with it, and hopefully keep bringing some entertainment to you guys. Alright, question 4. We are flying through these. From Billy. We've seen Billy, B-Hank82. He's been on the stream, known him for a while. Oh boy, okay, this is a big one. Make a timeline of your Taekwondo experience. Important things that happened, important people you met, and things you've accomplished. So yeah, if you're brand new, don't know much about me, obviously that kind of dropped a bomb right there. I did train in Taekwondo for 15 years, back in New York, where I originally lived and grew up. Pace Taekwondo, yeah. Yeah, I started when I was 7. Started an after-school program. Really enjoyed it, and parents were nice enough to sign me up, and you know, everything there. And all the way up till 4th degree before I moved out here to California to try my hand at a different job career. So let's see, yeah, I guess we'll just start from the beginning. So like I said, started when I was 7, after school program at my elementary school. Pace came in, they held a program. Don't know how many weeks it was a while ago, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, just kicking targets, doing some punches, kicks, you know, having fun with my friends, stuff like that. So signed up, started the building was small when it first started. But yeah, then the school kept getting bigger and bigger, and we eventually moved to a new location. So I kept training, got my first degree black belt when I was in, oh boy, 5th grade? 5th grade, 6th grade? No. No, can't be that. 6th. Okay, 5th or 6th grade, one of those. 2nd degree, 3rd degree, and 4th degree. Once I achieved 2nd degree, I started helping out teaching classes, just kind of being like on the floor and like, holding targets if the instructors needed me to, and just being on the sides and helping anybody who was having some troubles and whatever, just motivate them to, you know, keep going. And then we kept teaching, and then I think it was a little before I was 3rd degree, maybe it was right as I was testing for it, I started being on staff, being a full-time instructor, or part-time, full-time, something like that, being an instructor. So actually leading groups and, you know, being in charge of certain things. And that was a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. Like, obviously it had its ups and downs, like challenges and, you know, good moments to see what you could do for other people. But yeah, it was very rewarding, you know, teaching all ages, from the little guys, the mighty mites from 4, all the way up to adults and, you know, in their 70s or whatever. But yeah, it was just awesome to have that relationship, I guess you could say, with your students. Is like, you know, teaching them techniques, teaching them kicks, forms, whatever it may be, and seeing them grow from it, and like being happy for what they've accomplished, whether it was a small thing, a big thing, whatever it was. It just was rewarding, and seeing the smiles on their faces, or, you know, seeing the progress they've made in their techniques over the years. So that was always a good thing, and I definitely miss it. I mean, there's a lot of schools out here. I've always thought about, you know, getting back in and training, but, you know, obviously Pace is my extended family. I'd like to go back. Who knows what the future holds, you know, going back there or sticking out here, or, you know, whatever it may be. Because there's a lot of people I met, which will lead into the next part of this question, that, you know, I consider good friends and even family. Let's see, important people I met. Obviously Grandmaster Pay, main head honcho behind everything. My co-workers, Crystal, Jake, Patrick, Billy was a co-worker of mine for a while, Matt, James, Lindsay, wow. Yeah, so worked with all of them, great people, always gave you feedback when you needed it, and boy did I need it. And yeah, like I said, we built those friendships. It's funny, Patrick and I actually went to preschool together, and then wound up, you know, in Pace together. So small world, just kind of funny how you can get reconnected that way. Billy and I, let's see, how old is Billy? Billy's graduating this year. So Billy and I are 4 years apart. Yeah. So at first we weren't like super close, but like, you know, we were friendly with each other. But over these past 2 years, maybe 3, we've really kind of bonded more and become really good friends, and it's definitely awesome. You guys can see over on the YouTube channel, he's in there a bunch, but just you know, having some good times with him. He's been on the stream, been on some videos, the witty banter as we call it. So I'm really, you know, glad I have that friendship with him, and proud of all the things he's accomplished, and grateful for all the things he's done for me. But yeah, there's a lot of cool people that I've met through Taekwondo. There's so many. I don't want to list them because then I know I'm going to leave somebody out and they're going to be like, oh, what do you mean? But I mean, just like co-workers, fellow students, parents, you know, everybody. There's a lot of good people there, whether they're still there, whether they left. A lot of good relationships had there, and I'm glad I spent such a big chunk of my life there, and glad I made those relationships and whatnot. Yeah. Things accomplished. Okay, well, accomplished in Taekwondo, 4th degree black belt, so I got that May of this past year. That was a big accomplishment. You know, couldn't do that on my own. Achieved the rank of master instructor, which is, you know, very flattering and appreciative. Been in numerous championships. Those have always been a lot of fun. I've never been like the most competitive person, so results, I mean, as a kid they mattered, you know, oh, I got last place, but once you got over that, it was always just, you know, I'm going God, this road sucks. Going to, you know, better myself and have some fun with it. So form competition was always very, not cutthroat, but it was very, there we go, much better. Very competitive and very critical about techniques and stuff like that. Breaking was always fun. Definitely hit or miss, literally, on your results. But the last couple we got more creative with our breaks, and that was a lot of fun. Sparring. Never personally liked sparring or loved sparring, but I mean, over the years I grew to obviously like respect it and appreciate it. But always hopping in the ring, I was never like, oh, I gotta get first or I'm gonna win or whatever. It was just always go in there, you know, do what I can, and hopefully give the opponent a good match and have some fun with it. So, you know, championships are always fun. Student of the Year awards, that was always just like mind-blowing, because I mean, obviously the idea in every class is put 110% in and, you know, do your best, but it was never, I never expected like, oh, you know, here's a reward or an award for what you've done. And it was very humbling, and I was very appreciative of those. Demo team, all-star team, those were a lot of fun. Just, you know, doing jump kicks in the air, breaking boards, jumping over people, forms and skits, weapon stuff, all these really cool things that I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to do. Because, yeah, I never felt like I was the most flashy of people, technique-wise, but like I said, I'm thankful I got that opportunity to be with, you know, people I looked up to and in skill level and technique, and hopefully, you know, come close to that bar that they set. But yeah, that's my Taekwondo journey in a really quick nutshell, I guess. Alright, question number 5. Oh, here we go. Alright, this one from the Kinda Funny community. Blessing? Yeah. I don't know if that's a nickname or a last name or whatever. Sorry about that. But Blessing was very nice to give us a question over on the Facebook, the Kinda Funny fan page. Definitely talk about the revolutionary Vita Island War. Alright. Now, for the non-Kinda Funny fans that are watching this is like, what is he talking about? On Kinda Funny, there is a war going on. We got two sides. We got Vita Island, and 3DS Peninsula. Pretty sure it's Peninsula. Maybe it's an Archipelago. Maybe that's the PC, guys. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Peninsula. So Vita Island, 3DS Peninsula. On Kind of Funny, there are 5 guys. Okay, you got Greg, Colin, Tim, and Nick, Kevin. Kevin mostly does production, so he's mainly behind the camera, but one day, you know, he's been getting more and more into stuff, so I'm sure he'll be showing his smiley face on videos more. But the other 4, they're mainly in front of the camera. Now, they all started at IGN. Greg he did some articles, and he was a big video personality. Same with Colin, he was more. Now, I didn't watch a bunch of the stuff he was in, like the Beyond podcast. I know, haters gonna hate. You're gonna be like, what, you didn't watch Beyond? F you. But I recognized him for articles, and then Tim and Nick, pretty sure Kevin too, were all production once again. So they were mainly behind the scenes. Now, Greg and Colin, they were very Sony-oriented, PlayStation. So the Vita is a handheld, right here. Pretty much like a Game Boy or any Nintendo handheld you can think of, just it was PlayStation's. Yeah. And it did okay. I don't think it met the expectations that Sony had for it or whatever. But Colin and Greg have definitely kept it alive, and the community, Kind of Funny guys, community has definitely kept it alive. And then, so we got those guys, and then we got Tim. He is the Nintendo guy, and Crash Bandicoot, but that's a different story. So he's the Nintendo guy. He is a fan of the quote-unquote vast 3DS library. So Colin and Greg are on Vita Island, which is the hardcore Sony guys, the hardcore Vita guys. You've had this for a while, you've stuck with it, you support it. Access to Vita Island is very limited. Whether you get your Vita recently or just because of, oh, this is cool, whatever. I don't think you're allowed access. I could be wrong, because I'm not on the island, obviously. But I believe the hierarchy is Colin is Emperor of Vita Island, and then Greg is like, I don't even know the official title, but we'll say like Prime Minister. He's below. He's the second in command. And then Portillo, Greg's dog, right here, might be in charge, probably not, knowing Colin and his hatred for Portillo. Anyway, so Vita Island is very strict, I guess you could say, with their borders. And then there's boats around of refugees like Kevin. And then, so recently, on a Colin and Greg Live, it's their Twitch show that they do every weekday, 11 a.m. Pacific time to 12 noon, gaming news and random shenanigans. Tim and Nick were hosting, because Greg and Colin were unavailable. And Tim suggested that him and Nick and the rest of 3DS Peninsula wage war and throw an attack against Vita Island. So, that's pretty much what the war is. My thoughts on it. It's gonna be interesting. I feel like last year's Kind of Funny Live, they built up to a presidential debate. It was Scarpino Geddes against Moriarty Miller, sorry, switch that. And they did their little presidential debate, and it was a little skit, and it was funny. It'd be really cool. I don't know if they're going to do it, but there might be a skit at the Kind of Funny Live 2 event for that. I don't know. Been trying to predict some things they can do. That's the only thing I can really think of that was building up wise. But yeah, I don't have a Vita. I do have a 3DS. I don't play it that often, though. Handhelds aren't really my thing. I mean, I'll play them every once in a while. I'll play the Pokemans and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, and, Smash, and things of that nature. But, I'm not like a hardcore handheld guy. So, personally, I have no stake in this war. I'm just going to sit back and relax and watch the chaos that happens. But I think Vita Island has an advantage in this race. Scarpino Geddes obviously had an advantage in the presidential candidacy, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Greg and Colin have this one locked down. Beat Island seems very strong, or at least, you know, militant. So I don't think 3DS Peninsula has a chance here. I could be wrong though. There could be a lot of fans of that 3DS library. I just don't, obviously we don't hear as much about 3DS Peninsula. Vita Island seems to be strong and you hear about it quite often. So yeah, I'm gonna call it now, Vita Island for the win. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting battle to watch. But yeah. Alright. Question number 6. From my cousin Jamie. Okay. Question is, I want you to stop at every McDonald's you pass and test a different McDonald's coffee flavor. Okay. I'm going to modify this question a little bit, because first of all, Jamie, I don't think you realize how many McDonald's are in between Anaheim and San Francisco. Holy shit, there are a lot of them. So that would take me a lot of time to get to where I need to go. So, first off, not going to do that. Second of all, for those of you who don't know, I've never had coffee before. Never tried it, never felt obligated to. I've tried hot chocolate, I've tried tea, both hot drinks, warm beverages. They are not my cup of tea. They always tasted gross to me, so I was like, eh. So I figured coffee, you know, hot drink, I don't like these, probably not gonna like this one. So I'm gonna modify the question like I said. Obviously I'm not going to stop at every McDonald's, but I did stop at a McDonald's for lunch and did grab myself a coffee. So, Jamie, this is for you. Cheers. Ugh. Okay, first of all, really hot. Yeah, I don't get any, flavor. Okay, this aftertaste sucks. Yeah, the aftertaste just tastes like burnt. Like something really burnt. Obviously it's warm, duh. But yeah, it's just, no. It sucks. As I go for a third sip. Like there's a very hint of some kind of flavor in the middle, but that burning sensation just takes over it. It's not like painful, it's just like the burnt taste. Like if, you know, you burnt toast or you burnt bacon or something like that, you know, it's just that burnt taste to it. But yeah, coffee. Hopefully I get caffeine out of this, so obviously I will. Hopefully I get that energy out of it. I did not sleep well last night. But there you go. Thanks for your question, Jamie. Okay, next question. Oh, from a Taekwondo parent, Mrs. Clark. The best potato chip flavor. It's salt and vinegar, by the way. To that, I say no. With the utmost respect. But salt and vinegar? Ugh, gross. No, thank you. I always hated that when you're at a party or some kind of event and there's a bowl of chips and you're like, oh, sweet, chips. And you grab them and then you eat them and it's salt and vinegar and you're like, that was a terrible decision. So, best potato chip flavor for me. Now, obviously the question says potato chip, so I'm probably going to be a basic bitch and just say regular. I don't really like any of those fancy, you know, oh, we did barbecue flavor, oh, we did this flavor, blah, 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 blah. No, just give me a normal dang chip. That's all I want. Give me that salt, give me that potato. Here we go. So yeah, if we're just limiting it to potato chip, which I would assume is like, you know, the general thing, then I would say regular. However, if you're gonna count Doritos, as a potato chip, which, I mean, technically I guess you could, but it's like a tortilla chip, but I don't know. If you're going to count that, then the answer 100% is nacho cheese. For all the haters that are going to say, Cool Ranch, screw you. Nacho cheese all the way. Cool Ranch sucks. I'm just going to say it right now. Sucks. If you like it, good for you. Don't give it to me. Nacho cheese all the way. So, yeah, screw salt and vinegar. Give me some regular old potato chips or some nacho cheese Doritos, and we'll be fine and dandy. Next question. Oh, look at that. Another Billy. Another Billy one. Oh, jeez. Alright, this is classic classic Billy 101 here. Please rate an assortment of cereal of your choosing on a letter scale of A to F in each of the following categories: appetite filling capacity, taste, sogginess and milk, post-milk flavor. Okay then. Cereal. Like cereal. This was actually a topic, I believe, on the Game Over Greggy show at one point. The cereal with milk, cereal without milk debate. Is cereal without milk still a meal? Yes, it is. It's not a snack. Get over yourself. I do not put milk on my cereal. And there's one reason. It just gets too soggy. It's like you have to shovel that crap down if you want to conserve any solidity in your food. I don't want mush. I want, something. It's not applesauce. I want something solid here. So, screw milk. Obviously, I'll have milk with it in a glass, but no, not putting that in there so all the cereal can wade around with its buddies and swim around. No, screw that. So, I'm going to take out the sogginess factor and the post-milk flavor factor, because I don't even bother with those because they all suck. Alright, so, I recently started eating breakfast again. Woohoo! Being smart, not really. And having cereal. Living on my own, that's pretty much been my breakfasts. Except for breakfast, not breakfasts. Except for toast, occasionally. So, cereals I am going to go with. Alright, we're going to go with Honey Nut Cheerios, Apple Jacks, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Cocoa Krispies. Alright, there's your four. Okay, out of these four, I'm going to go, let's do, what was the first one? Was it taste factor? Appetite filling capacity. Okay, I'm going to go with, let's see, we had Honey Nut over here. I'm going to get Honey Nut Cheerios a B on filling capacity. Sometimes I always feel more hungry afterwards. Apple Jacks, I'm going to give it an A minus, because they usually do the job. They get the job done. I'm going to give Cinnamon Toast Crunch an A plus, because they're really good. And then I'm going to give Cocoa Krispies, I'm going to give them a B plus also. Just because, yeah, sometimes I'm like, these were good. I mean, but more would be great. Alright, so we got that, appetite filling capacity, so there's your grades for that. Taste, okay. Honey Nut Cheerios, they kind of range. Sometimes they're really good, like I like sweeter ones with more honey, I guess. And then sometimes they're just kind of bland. Not like a regular Cheerio, but they definitely have less of the taste factor. So on average, I'm going to give it like a C plus, B minus on taste. It's kind of, hit or miss. Apple Jacks, I'm going to give them a B just because it starts good, but then it starts to kind of wane off, and I'm like, it's just the same thing over and over again, I guess. Which, obviously, duh. It's a bowl of cereal. It's not like it's magically changing. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I can talk. I'm going to give them an A+, especially if they have that cinnamon covered on everything. And then Cocoa Krispies, they're A to A-. They're really good, too. Those, I'm like, oh, these are great. So, yeah, Billy, there you go. You got Honey Nut, you You got Apple Jacks, you got Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and you got the Cocoa Krispies. Those are my big four. I will give shout outs to Cookie Crisp back in the day. That was a good one. Haven't had that in years. Lucky Charms can go suck it. Blech. Marshmallows, nope. Oh, another shout out, that was a good one. Apple Smacks or something like that. They had the frog dude on the front. It was a red box. I had those when I was a kid. Those were fantastic. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, next one is from Sean from Facebook and also from D-Cube Gaming. Shout out to them. Go check them out. They're really cool. Sean asks, or says, talk about future games and how they would do in VR tech. Okay, VR, I have been very, I guess you could say, cautious or just light-footed about the whole VR thing. It's definitely a cool idea. It's definitely cool that it's becoming a thing. But I'm very hesitant on it, or at least I was at the beginning. I was very, nervous, like, how are you going to feel afterwards, like nausea and all that stuff, and then mobility, and how much room am I going to need, or this and that, and whatever it may be. But I've gained more respect for it as I've been seeing more tech demos come out in games and things like that. So you got Oculus, and you got, crap, what's the other one? Is it Rift? No, that's Oculus as well. PlayStation 1, yeah, whatever, sorry. So I've been, as I've seen more gameplay, I've been getting more respect for it. Like, a really cool thing game I saw, English, and idea I saw was, it's like a drawing room. Like this video right here from Funhaus, they're playing Pictionary, and they're in the virtual space, and they can move around, look any direction, and draw with the little motion controllers. And I think that's awesome. That's like a cool idea. That's really, people are so creative when they don't have, they're using just a controller. They don't have their hands on the devices or the game or, the tools, and they make amazing things. I can't imagine the possibilities that this will lead to for, the creative people and stuff like that. One flaw I do have with this little Pictionary thing is the 3D space, is like, if you move, even if on accident or by the slightest, that 3D, it's not a flat picture. Which, if you're drawing something 3D, that's freaking awesome. But if you're trying to draw something flat, you could get those, like, layers where it's the background and then the thing is way out here in the foreground, and it's got that separation, it's not flat. So, that's something you could deal with, but for me, that was like, I don't like that. As for the future in games, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't have that game development mindset. Hey girl, by the way. But like, I don't see how this is going to work with like games that we're currently playing. Like, for example, let's see. Okay, for example, Pokemon, Doom, Final Fantasy, sports games, whether it's NBA or Madden or NHL. Doom, I guess you could make the first-person shooters, I could see you doing it, because obviously, first-person view. Oh, put a controller in your hands, blah, blah, blah. 3D games, like, okay, Sunset Overdrive, another shooter, but you're away from the person. I don't know how that would work. So, obviously in the VR space, there's going to be new IPs, I think they call them, new games, new IPs, new ideas. So it's not all going to be like, oh, I'll just put Halo on the thing. Sure, they could do that, but I don't know. And to me, like, FPSs, first-person shooters, in the VR space, to me, that's just stupid. Because you got the thing on your head, right? VR, cool. you look around, blah, 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 that's cool and everything. And then you got the controller. Now, I know you could say, oh, well, Brett, they got the little treadmill thingies where you're strapped in and blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, that's cool. Is that available at this moment? I don't think so, and if it is, it's probably, up the wazoo in cost. But, like, that's cool. But right now, in our current state, like, having a controller in your hand and then just having the VR headset, it's like, why? That's just pretty much just like putting your face right up against the TV. Oh, I'm in VR. I mean, you're right there. I get a headache enough looking at a normal TV screen. I don't need something right freaking in front of my face. I don't know. To me, it's going to be... Maybe it's just because I can't see it, like I said, because I'm not in that mindset. But to me, it's going to be very interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing how developers do that, build games for the VR technology. But maybe it's just because I'm trying to think of every game that's currently out and how that would work in VR. Like I said, there's going to be new games, there's going to be new ideas. Who knows if they're even going to bring Series XYZ over. Some of them make sense, some of them, will not, won't, whatever. But for me, currently, it's just very, how are you going to do this? Like, the Pictionary game is cool. The other numerous tests, I can't really think of anything specific, but they seem very, like, remember when the Nintendo Wii came out? And the Wii U, actually? Like, those little games they released, like Nintendo Land and, the sports one, Wii Sports. Like, they all seemed very tech demo-ish. Like, oh, this is what we can do with our technology. And that's cool, because you need to show that. But all the things I've seen so far seem very, oh, this is just like, hey, you could do this. There's nothing that's really standing out as, like, a game, if that makes sense. And I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't know too much about VR. Obviously, I can't list all these games that are on it, or probably on it. But, I want to learn more, and I'm looking forward to the future. Currently, I'm still hesitant and just interested in seeing how it works out, how it plays out. So yeah, VR. Okay. Next question. Flying through these. We're going to get more than half in this first video. From John. Big John. Another guy who's been on the Twitch channel. What is his? Grind USA is his username. What are your favorite superheroes, Marvel and DC, and why are they your favorite? Okay, out of the two companies, I am more of a Marvel fan. I definitely know some stuff about DC, but Marvel's definitely the more of the knowledge. So I'm going to start with DC. Let's see, favorite heroes. I've always been a fan of the Robins, like, Robin, Nightwing. There's another one. Not Red Hood. I didn't know too much about him. Is there another one? Wow, season. You can see how big of a fan I am. But Nightwing I always thought was really cool. Definitely him in Injustice was a kick-ass character. Flash is really cool. I always thought the super speed was, a sweet power. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the characters are cool, but it's not like, I don't really have that many standouts. So let's hop over to Marvel. Alright, top 3 characters for me that I'm a fan of are Thor, Iron Fist, and... Wow, hold on. There's another obscure one. Shows you how much of a fan I am. Gambit. There we go. Yeah, Thor, actually, I wasn't, like, big into Thor. Like, I liked him, But actually, my fandom from him came actually from after the movie. Yeah, me and my cousin Charlie, we just went on one of those random, like, oh, late night Walmart run, because we're bored. And I put on one of those stupid helmets they had at the time and grabbed a hammer, and we took a photo, and, you know, I picked up the nickname Thor from some people. And I was like, that's funny. So I started checking him out more and, you know, read some stuff, and he's pretty cool. Like his whole backstory. I didn't know he was a doctor at first, or undercover, or whatever, his alter ego, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Iron Fist, I think it's just the martial arts like background. That was a cool thing. The whole like chi energy and, you know, punching and kicking with the stuff. The Netflix series, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know the actor they just casted, but hopefully he does well. They do pretty good with their casting, so I'll have faith in that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Used him a bunch in Ultimate Marvel 3 and the good old Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. I think he was only in the second one, but yeah, I think that's where I first learned about him. And then Gambit was really cool. I used him in Marvel 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 all the time, even though I was terrible at that game. And I just like the whole kinetic energy thing. Like, I remember as a kid, I thought it was like, oh, you could just do that with the cards. Cool. Wink. Whatever. But I guess you can do that with, you know, whatever he wants. And then the bow staff, obviously, just, you know, smacking people around with that. He had a cool look to him, too, with the trench coat and that weird mask thing. He just had an interesting look to him. So yeah, those are the favorite heroes I have. Now I'm going to add a second part to this question and go with villains that I like from both series. DC villain that I really like is the Riddler from Batman. You may get why Edward Nygma might be one of my favorites. But yeah, I just like how it's a normal, well, they're all normal dudes for the most part. But it's just a dude that doesn't like have any powers or anything. He's like a scrawny dude, but he just uses like puzzles to mess with Batman. I mean, Batman obviously figures it out because our world's greatest detective and blah blah blah. But it's still cool. And then he's had numerous little outfits. You know, his question mark suit was always cool. And then I know this is not a very well liked version of him. I think it's the Batman Beyond version, where it's not, I don't think it's Edward Nygma, I think it's a new dude in the Riddler mantle, but he's got long black hair, and still got his cane and everything, but I thought that cool. I thought that look was really cool and interesting, and just a different take on the character, obviously. But yeah, I like him, and then as for Marvel, I guess you could probably blame the MCU for this, but Loki is really cool. Tom Hiddleston obviously kills it as that character, and yeah, just by that performance and him being in the movies, I've gained more interest in that character and like his look. I mean, the horn helmet the horn helmet goes back and forth. It either looks really good or it looks really shitty. I think it looks better with long hair. That's my thing, but you know, to each their own. So yeah, like I said, you could probably blame that on the MCU, and I know people who are longtime comic fans who are like, oh, what a hypocrite, what a hipster, blah, blah, blah. And to you I say, I don't care. But yeah, so those are the heroes and villains I would consider favorites out of those two franchises. And I know I didn't give Dark Horse and all these other companies some love, but honestly, you know, I don't know many of those heroes. I know Spawn barely. I know Watchmen just because of the movie, even though I only watched a half hour of it and stuff like that. And Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass is good, but yeah, I mean, whatever. I'll stick with main guns for now. Alright, so this is our halfway point. We've been going for 50 minutes. Yeah. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for it now. Well, you know, actually, yeah. I think I'm going to wrap the video here, guys. This is my road trip to Kinda Funny Live 2. So I plan on making another one on the way back. So thank you guys for hanging out and learning more about me and, you know, listening to me talk about stupid stuff. Hope you got some laughs from it or different opinion. I don't even know. But thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. Remember, guys, you can catch me on the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all at Enigma9011. And if you're on any of those video game consoles, which you probably are, Xbox, PSN, Nintendo, and Steam, once again, all Enigma9011, almost like somebody planned it. If you want to catch us live, the live stream, we stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Got a very varied amount of games that we play. YouTube videos go up like this every Friday, so you can check those out. But yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. It's much appreciated. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out.